So it is match number 2 for us anyway, here on day 2 of the 2014 All-Ireland Graded Open at the Baldoyle Badminton Centre. Thomas Bowen here and myself, Con Murphy. This is next match up on centre court is Grade G, a men's doubles semi-final. And it's an interesting pairing actually. J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien from Dundrum take on E.Rosillo and N.Sayam, who represent the PBAI club, which is the Pinoy Badminton Association of Ireland badminton club. You were saying earlier on, Thomas, that it's a very friendly family. For the Philippine community in Ireland especially, they tend to congregate in this club.
Yeah, they kind of came on the scene about 5 years ago. I say, obviously they've set up life here and got together as a group and set up a club, and yeah, they've been absolute pleasure to play against. Good, always produces great players, but just have a great.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, E.Rosillo and N.Sayam.
Just a great sporting attitude.
On my left, J.Dineen.
And very good, very good family club. You know, they get their all. You know, all their kids down to join in, and they have a junior school.
J.Dineen.
Yeah, been a breath of fresh air on the scene in the badminton scene.
It is N.Sayam on serve. Here, game number 1. It's a semi-final.
This should be an interesting game. I
actually
have played
all
these 4 players actually. So I play with John and I just recently played with John and Dermot on a Sunday night. Just a group of us playing together. So don't know much about them. I think Dermot is from Cork, so a fellow Corkman. So we got chatting. And the 2 guys have played in over the league, and yeah, very competitive. Very solid players. Should be an interesting match. I think it's going to be difficult to see who will win this game. My slight favouritism probably will be Edwin and Nadan here on the near side. But
although it is J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien who've made the better start here. 3-0 ahead. And it's worth reiterating that this is the grade that you played at earlier on. You were a bit unlucky to go out in the early stages.
Yeah, I was hoping I wouldn't be here and I'd be out there. But I'm obviously delighted to be here with you, Con. But yeah, I wish I was playing and not watching. But yeah, I was unlucky. We had a great
service
game.
over.
So it was
1-4.
The pair we actually played, they'd moved on, and actually one of the players got injured. So I was hoping I might be the morale runner-up or something. Hopefully, but these are 4 very good players. 4 very solid, consistent players, so I expect a good game of doubles here.
Service over.
Yeah, smash there from N.Sayam. He's wearing unusual strapping on the back of his right calf. I thought it was an unusual tattoo when he came out of the court first, but I'm pretty sure it's strapping. Again, you were making the point earlier on in one of the matches earlier that these players, in some cases, have been playing here since 9 in the morning in different events, whether it be singles, mixed doubles. It's a very long day with a lot of matches.
Yeah, like John, the far side there, the black top, he was playing a game of singles this morning at 9. So, and I've seen Nadam here as well. Actually, I was chatting to him earlier on about is this some new design or some pattern or something like that? And he said, so just obviously he's a good sense of humour, so he's just obviously he needs it for some bit of support
of the guy.
But just adds a bit of flair as well. So you'll see through the game, he'll plenty of smiles from him in the middle of the match, no matter what.
8.
It is an early lead for J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien, 8-4. The umpire for this semi-final, Seamus Halpin, again a vastly experienced umpire,
service over,
and one who's making strides now in the international game, hopefully in the near future.
Yeah, just been awarded his international badge, so I think he's shortly going off to Croatia on the European circuit, so following in the paths of many that Irish umpires that we have so far who are on the scene. So it's great, and the sport needs it. It's like every sport, we need the umpires just to add to the occasion, and they do Trojan work. The amount of events that they're working on is absolutely massive. And again, just to say thank you to them, because the players appreciate it.
Yeah,
players can focus on the game at hand. They don't have to be worrying about the score, the lines issues, or that. They can just get on with the game, and it's great to have
service over.
And for players at this grade, maybe who wouldn't normally have umpires for a lot of the matches, the sort of matches you were talking about on a Sunday evening at the local club or whatever. It does add a sense of, I suppose, occasion to something like this as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
9-all.
This is just at a normal game, and it just focuses you on what you need to do. So
good comeback by the Philippine pair, Rosillo and Sayam, back to within a point of J.Dineen.
Service over.
Dermot O'Brien.
10-9. Service over.
So I was just about to see what kind of serve John was going to do, but we didn't, or Jeremy was going to do there, but we didn't really learn too much there. Except
it was a funky little effort into the net.
Yeah.
No one he'll be trying to repeat too often.
Service over. 11-10. Interval.
Edwin just needs to keep it in. He's just pushed one or two out wide on that left.
That comes back to the point you were making in one of the earlier games we were showing as well, where players at this level maybe go for that killer shot every time to finish the rally early, and just a little bit more patience and make sure you keep it between the lines.
Absolutely, and you will see at international level, you'd be amazed the amount of shots go straight down the middle, because again, it's narrowing the angle of the return. There's the issue of the boundaries don't come into play.
Yeah.
And it can cause confusion because it goes down the middle and the player on the far side of, well, is it yours or is it mine?
Yeah.
So often it's the ideal place. It could be a drop to the front, it could be a push, just a smash, or even a clear. It can still cause confusion. So be interested to see if either side kind of takes that route of keeping it down the middle, men's doubles in particular.
11-10.
Close one. Only a point in it, as you can see on the screen there. Dineen and O'Brien 11-10 ahead.
12-10.
Yeah, John just very quick on his feet there, just intercepted anything that was anyway too high, and just straight back in the body, give him no chance. Oh.
Nadam is not happy with that.
13-10.
It wasn't a cleanly struck shot.
No. Oh, it's over.
Service over.
Oh, yeah.
He meant it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was making sure. And the two lads just watching it in disbelief. But fair play. Rack it up from John to signify. Great shot.
12-13.
And see that, even though he just got the previous shot, was, I suppose, a bit fortunate, then use that to drive on and get a great win the next rally very well.
13-all.
Back to Wall Square, 13-all. In this first set of the Grade G men's doubles semi-final. Rosillo and Sayam from the Philippines against Dineen and O'Brien
13.
from Ireland. They play at the Dundrum Club, J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien.
Yeah, I've played up there a couple of times. Yeah, it's up on Taney Road, so good club.
15-13.
I think actually, I was seeing on the Badminton Ireland website there, Scott Evans had gone up there recently, I think, as well, and just he tries to do a tour around some of the clubs. When the times he's home is obviously mainly based in Denmark, so he'd gone to Dundrum just to do a bit of work with them there recently. So it was nice for them, I'm sure.
Absolutely, especially for the kids in the club and stuff, to have somebody like Scott or Chloe that kind of level coming and maybe showing them the ropes a bit.
Service over. 16-14.
So just in the lead now at the right time of the game, just as you're coming into that final quarter of this game, it's the right time, and it's a great shot. Yeah.
High five,
yeah.
Philippine pair, Rosillo and Sayam, 17-14 ahead. And as you say, they've just like a horse winning a race in the final furlong, and then again, well put away by Edwin Rosillo there.
14.
Plenty of court to aim at, in fairness.
Just spotted the space and
service over.
In, yeah.
15,
I think
18.
He thought it was going out, I think, and quickly realised the error of his ways.
16-18. Service over.
He's happy with that.
19.
Obviously, you can
16.
see a great rapport between the two of them. You know that they're spurring each other on.
He picked his spot, but neither Dineen nor O'Brien really made an effort to get that.
Yeah, it was John. He did the lift and he didn't seem to make a move after that. So, yeah, a lot of space.
Service over. 17. 19.
You see now, Dermot can do with the serve. See if they can get a run of points. Ooh,
Good rally.
Yeah,
18.
Goes to
19.
and O'Brien.
it was very good because actually the two lads here on this side did everything right. They did the attack and just good defence by Dermot. Oh. Great defence again by Dermot. But yeah,
Service over.
Game point.
20. Game point.
2018 for
18.
Rosillo and Sayam after that point. Dermot was a bit upset himself on that. You can see from his reaction. Chance here to close out this game for the pair nearest the camera.
keeping it going, Johnny is, yeah. Oh, still going. Oh, well
Great
done.
rally.
Service
Rally of the
over.
match so far.
19.
At a
20.
crucial point in this first game as well.
The dam was trying his utmost there, but John was just not having it. He says, we're staying in this game. Oh.
Game.
There you go. And that seals the first game for Edwin Rosillo and N.Sayam. 21-19, so it couldn't have been closer. But it's first game for the pair from
First game won by
PDAI.
Edwin Rosillo and N.Sayam. 21-19.
High fives again. They do seem to have a good bond, this pair. You know, they every time they play. Little wave to the camera there, why not as well?
Sorry, lads.
Yeah, he's a character. He's good fun. And actually, fair play. He does the Irish Open there. He was working in the Irish Open, doing lines for the Irish Open. Tough job.
Yeah.
And always willing to help out and volunteer because the sport needs that, like every other sport. It needs its volunteers for our big events. So, like with the umpires today and Irish Open, it's a 5-day event, hundreds of matches, and it has to have. It needs people like himself there to help out and do one of these important jobs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're one game up now, but it was a close one, and J.Dineen, Dermot O'Brien need to figure out a way of getting back. I mean, they started that first game very well, Dineen and O'Brien, but they kind of let it slip midway through, and Rosillo and Sayam picked up some confidence.
And they should have, like, they're both from the same club, John and Dermot. I was kind of wondering for a second, were they from two different clubs, and have they paired up for the tournament, but they are from the same club, so they should have a good rapport, you know what I mean? Sometimes you were saying there was a bit of space that was exploited by Nadam, so it's interesting to see how this start of the second game goes.
The one feature of that first game, and it's been a feature of so many of the games, is the fact that it
Second
was
game.
close. We've seen a lot of. I suppose the fact that it is graded and people are graded in the same grade. We've made the point before. That a lot of the games are quite
Service
close.
over.
Already
1
we've seen
love.
3-game match here just before this one. So let's see if O'Brien and Dineen can get back into it.
Two love.
Just trying to be too tight at the net.
Service over.
High fives again.
1-2.
Well put away by N.Sayam there. He's a colourful character, that's for sure. He's got a bit of personality about him.
Yeah.
You can see he enjoys his
Service
sport,
over.
that's for sure.
3.
But what's nice about
One.
it, what I like about him is, he shouts it. but there's not, what I'd say, an arrogant tone about her. And
Not
that,
at all,
you know what
no.
I mean? So,
No.
very kind-hearted.
And it is a feature actually of badminton in Ireland. I was really conscious of it when the Irish Open was on here recently, that the amount of fans here from Far East and so on, where the sport is number one sport, is really interesting. And with so many people from there coming to this country over the last decade or so, it's bound to benefit badminton in Ireland in a big way.
Yeah. They're coming from countries that have good technique tradition and there. Looking for inspiration of why did I do that shot. Still the high fives go on anyway. But yeah,
Service
definitely
over.
up the standard for us all,
2,
and it's great.
4.
2-4, N.Sayam on serve here, serving to J.Dineen.
3, 4.
It's just a bit of a cheap point from John there, just a easy return into the net there.
4 all.
Clever serve from Nadam there.
Yeah, and he wasn't sure, and this is where I kind of wondered, do Dineen and O'Brien, even in the club, maybe not play as much together, because I'd be hoping for my
5,
partner to be
4.
watching that and giving me a shout
Yeah.
if it's going to be long or not, particularly on we call this long, this flick serve.
Rally this.
Service over. 5
Long
all.
in the end from Edwin Rosillo. Or was it?
Yeah.
Service over.
It's very good. You can see
6.
N.Sayam, when he's been served
5.
to, you can see he's like a cat waiting to pounce. You know, he's ready, and he's making I'm ready. You know, if this serve is going to be anyway sloppy, I'm going to pounce all over it. And it's great because you're trying to put pressure
Service
on your
over.
opponent.
6 all.
He does it quite well. Some players can have maybe kind of a lazy disposition style, and that's what works for them. But he's really letting you know,
Service over.
I'm going to
7.
pounce all
On
over
his
this.
toes. Although it
6.
is, your feet have to be stationary as you're receiving them.
Yes. They have to be 2 feet touching, so but you can be on your toes.
Yeah, sure.
Service
And you
over.
can't move, obviously, until...
7 all.
Actually, I'm trying to think, is it a forward motion of the racket or a touch of the racket? So once the racket comes back, I think once it's more forward, that's when you can move. And I should know that, actually.
Get
No,
very technical now.
Yeah,
For an umpire
yeah.
now.
8, 7.
but that's something that Seamus would be watching for, very much say, like, particularly if you see somebody is quite
Service
quick up,
over.
Yeah.
to
8
make
all.
sure that they don't jump.
Before the
Before the-
forward motion.
Yeah. Yes. Kind of almost
9,
similar mistake
8.
there by Dermot. He should be just trying to do a simple push down the line into the backhand corner, because actually it's quite dangerous for Rosillo to serve out wide.
10, 8.
Just a few mistakes. The lads know it themselves. Yeah, they're just looking at each other and
11, 8. Interval.
just all gone their way there. Just
The hands raised in apology. Nothing they could do about that, of course. Bit of stroke of luck.
yeah, you'll still take it though. You won't hand it back.
And at the interval, it is Rosillo and N.Sayam with an 11-8 lead. And obviously, having taken the first game, they're in the driving seat in this semi-final. It's a great G, and it's worth pointing out that not only have we 8 courts here in Baldoyle, which have been going all day with women's doubles, mixed doubles, singles, the works. There are also courts at the Marino Institute of Education, where the F-grade players
Five,
have been
20
playing
seconds,
throughout the
5,
day,
20
up
seconds.
until the stage of the semi-finals, where they've come to join us here. But it just shows you the level of interest in this event and the number of matches that have taken place over the weekend.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, we'd love to have a
11,
venue where we could have 16 courts or something like that. but this is a great arena. Like the 8-court facility here is fabulous. I actually always like playing here. But yeah, it goes to show the interest in the sport is there. We
9-11.
Clubs around the country are very active. I play in another badminton venue on the south side of Dublin, Terranure Badminton Centre, and it is full all week.
Is it?
Yeah, you cannot get a court there.
Service over.
It's very hard to get. You get a court there 10 o'clock
9.
at night. It's just so busy, which is great to see in the sport. Or at weekends, like there's lots of clubs based out of the venue, and here in Baldoyle, there's several clubs based out of here, and it's great to see people playing.
It really is, and I suppose it's an ideal sport for Ireland, given the sort of weather we get over the winter. You know, it is a year-round sport that you can play at any stage.
Yeah, we're not at the mercy of anything, basically. Irish weather-wise,
a leaking roof would be the only problem they'd have here, if God forbid.
13.
But the courts have been all in use all day since, as you mentioned, 9 o'clock. Some of these players have been involved.
11.
Dermot, who just
13.
had that overhead smash in the red shirt there, was involved in a match at 9 o'clock this morning. So it is demanding on these players. They're coming up with the goods here.
It was good there to see Dermot smash down the middle into that hole between the two players. See there again.
It's as if they've been listening to you.
Yeah.
And likewise, the other pairing at the far end, same idea down the middle.
Yeah, great shot. He sensed
Over.
the weak lift here. You can see that it's just not long enough, and straight into the body. He knows he's not going to be quite ready to defend. Yeah, clever shot.
Overhead smash from N.Sayam, and it gives them a 14 points to 11 lead. Quick change of shuttle. They take a fair bit of hammering the shuttles in the especially in the doubles where it's wham bam.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a very attacking game compared to the singles, which is a bit more tactical. Doubles is.
Service over. 12.
Yeah.
14.
Very good.
Service over. 15. 12. Sixteen. 12.
Little loose though.
Service over. 13. 16.
Marginally long, yeah. Good call by the umpire.
Service over.
Good shot from Sayam.
17.
Putting John Dineen under
13.
pressure there, and his backhand never going to get there. So it gives a 17-13 lead for the pairing at the far end of the court, E.Rosillo and Sayam.
18. 13.
Yeah. It's just long.
They're closing in on this one, having taken the first game already.
Service over.
But O'Brien doing well
14.
there.
18.
Keeping the shuttle down. That is the key. It's just trying to keep the shuttle down. Get on the attack.
15. 18.
This game following quite a similar pattern to the first.
Yeah, just a bad serve by John.
Service
He
over.
just
19.
Too high.
15.
Yeah, just too high. Yeah, just. I think he just mishit it. Actually, I think I'm not sure. It just was way too high. It's a nice shot. That. Oh, I think it's just
Service
long
over.
though.
16.
Very unlucky.
19.
It was a very brilliant shot. You could see John was just slightly too near the front of the court, and
Oh, that could be one for Hawkeye. And there is talk of Hawkeye being
Service
introduced,
over.
actually.
20.
Major
Match
events
point,
at some point in the future.
16.
But anyway, that point for E.Rosillo and Sayam gives them match point.
Oh, I thought he
wanted
got
to have a second go.
17.
Frustration. Well defended by Dineen and O'Brien to bring it back to
18-20.
That's a misjudgment by
Yeah,
N.Sayam.
that'll just add to the nerves a little bit.
18-20.
Yeah. Ooh, he's open for his partner to rescue him. Ooh.
19-20.
And I think Sayam was hoping that was his really, like Rosillo had to stretch right across for that one. And
3 match points saved by the pairing of Dineen and O'Brien. And they saved this one, crucial one.
oh,
The answer to that is
no,
no.
went for the big kill. He did. That would be interesting to see if that's a turning point. Oh, great shot.
Service over. 21-20.
Which is a great response after conceding, not taking 4 match points to come back and hit a great shot like that. Well played.
So it's match point once again for E.Rosillo and N.Sayam. Oh, well played.
Oh,
Service over.
it's 5 match
21 all.
points saved. Great play here by Dineen and O'Brien. Yeah.
22-21.
Great serve, just catching Sayam off the hop. Yeah, and it's probably tried something brave, tried something different, but went for it. I think that's out.
Game.
Yeah.
So we will go to a third game. That was a close one. Very, very close.
Second game won by John Dineen.
And almost,
O'Brien.
I think a bit of disbelief there from
21.
Sayam.
One game
How
off.
did we not win
Absolutely,
that match?
with 5 match points. And you just wonder if the psychological advantage now swings towards Dineen and O'Brien, having really rescued that from the jaws of defeat to take that second game 23-21.
Yeah,
Going to be an interesting third game now.
yeah, it'd be, I'd love to hear what Sayam and Rosillo say to each other. You know, how did we not finish that match off there and then? And they have to regroup now. And like if Dineen and O'Brien got a great start to the next game, if they could get like a 3 or 4 point lead, that could really put huge seeds of doubt. Just
Psychological advantage, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
They have to now think, oh great, look, we've got the game 1-1. They have to try and keep push on as well. They can't be patting each other on the backs now. Great, look, we saved that. I said no, they should be saying, right, we're back in here.
Yeah.
Game is level. 1 game all, nothing all, and just it's winner takes all now, and just go for it.
New shuttle for this third game. I have a cousin in America, by the way, and his first name is John Dineen. And needless to say, his mother is from Cork. Dineen being a great name in Cork.
Ready, lads?
Actually, I think John is.
Final game.
John actually is from Clonakilty.
Is he?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, it just
Arna.
popped into my head actually. Yeah, plays originally from Clonakilty.
Service over. 1 love.
Good club down there in Clonakilty, actually, very strong. Yes.
2 love.
Not even a chance there for O'Brien. He just did a clear there, and I thought he could have maybe smashed it. He's got to be careful not to lift it too much. Probably just trying to play it safe.
Service over.
That's a
1-2.
It's more like it. I wonder, is that a factor, though, for players, say, at this level who are playing at grade G, that maybe sometimes shot selection, for example, is something that mightn't be as
2-all.
clinical as you would see from the guys at the top levels?
Yeah, I would think, yeah, definitely. It's when under pressure.
Yeah.
What's the right shot to do? Yeah, and when you're playing a game, and say you're playing with a partner or something like that, an unforced error doesn't bother. An error.
3
Look,
Two.
errors happen. We all make mistakes. It's about the right shot and playing the right shot at the right moment. That's probably often more what players discuss amongst each other. They're not going to say to you, will you stop hitting it into the net or something out. Look, that's happened. We're all
Service
human.
over.
That's human.
3
What
all.
you're going to try and work out is which is the right shots to hit at certain moments. And that's just down to players doing more coaching. We probably play too much and probably don't do enough, maybe sometimes enough study of the game and the tactical awareness. Because, anyways, we just want to enjoy the game as well and play.
Have fun.
Have fun. But like every sport, there's a science to it as well.
Yeah.
Service over. 4, 3.
And the principles do apply, even like, at international, just by watching, the shot selection they do, just the same.
Service over. 4 all.
Today. So
Yeah.
a lot can be learned just by, watching, either going to tournaments or watching them online. Again, it's the great thing with the modern age and the internet. There's so much now content available online to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. But coming along, something like the Irish Open here, where you are watching players at the
Service over.
pretty close
5,
to the very top of the
4.
tree, and to watch the power and the speed of their game, it's wonderful to see up close.
Yeah, the reaction speeds for me. It's just I presume there's some
6,
way of measuring reaction
4.
speeds at the tests or whatever, and I'd say they're just at that level. They just have brilliant eye coordination and just reaction speeds. Just it takes your breath away at times.
Service
Same,
over.
how did he return that shuttle? Or she? How did she return
5,
that shuttle? It's just
6.
amazing.
Mistake from J.Dineen there, who left that one, and it brings the score back to 5-6.
Service over. 7, 5.
And if Dineen O'Brien could just keep even just a 2-3 point lead, just enough, the lads will still be possibly then thinking about that
8,
previous game.
5.
And N.Sayam, they're a little bit flat-footed as that one came in, wasn't on his toes.
And down the middle again, just looking for that bit of confusion. Little gap down the middle. Oh, look there again.
Oh, great shot. Well
Service
played,
over.
E.Rosillo.
6,
Beautiful.
8.
Deft little shot over the net.
Yeah, like it's well inside the service line. It was just so tight over the net. But had to be a winner. Because if it wasn't, probably then would have been a simple shot then for Dineen. But yeah, excellent shot. Ooh.
Service over.
Well put away there
9,
by J.Dineen.
6.
N.Sayam service just put it on a plate for him, really, didn't it?
That's a
10,
great shot.
6.
He just kept pushing him, trying to. Rosillo's just tried pushing up too much, and then he just spotted the gap out the back and just popped it over his head.
And we were talking about this psychological advantage that J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien might have in this final game, having come back from the dead more or less in the second game, and they're
11-6.
just putting the squeeze now on Rosillo and Sayam.
Yeah, this is huge now, 11-6 up, and
this, I suppose, as well, where players can be maybe mentally tired a bit, but also physically tired, just given the fact that they've had a long day here, and this is a 3-game match now. This break is probably quite welcome for Rosillo and Sayam.
Yeah, but I think what you're saying is they've played a lot of games. Actually, coach is now coming out. There's somebody coming just to give him a bit of advice. Was not required earlier, obviously, but but it's difficult to see what can. Coach comes out and says maybe do this and that, but you often wonder how effective at this late stage in the game. It's going to be very difficult.
The body language of Sayam and Rosillo not quite as positive as it was earlier on. There's much less high-fiving, and they kind of look slightly like a heads down.
Yeah, well, shell shocked. Yeah, there's not many smiles at the moment. It's a big lead now here, 12-6. Oh, just
30.
Tired looking
6.
shot from Edwin Rosillo there.
yeah, he's just made a few errors, and they might even, if you sense somebody is just a bit struggling, you will target them.
Yeah,
You will.
yeah.
You can feel somebody's confidence is a bit shaky.
Service over.
Well done.
It's a
7,
nerve settler for them
13.
anyway.
Yeah, you just control it, well control it. When you're feeling the pressure, the adrenaline can get you to hit the shuttle too hard and push it long, and he just
Service
controlled that
over.
nicely.
14.
But that's a lovely
7.
shot there.
Double scores now, as they say in Gaelic games.
Out. Service over. 8. 14.
Well done by N.Sayam to let that drop,
He
because
knew it was going to be short.
well,
Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, it's
14.
well, no, it's great judgment by him, but bravery as well.
Yeah,
Because if it lands in, then is so well done by him.
good shot there as well to bring it back to 14-9.
10.
9-14.
14.
Just need to chip away at this lead now. Doing well. Just missed it, but got away with it.
11. 14.
They give him just a bit loose there by John. I think both the toll of the day is beginning to, it's apparent from both
Slightly
of them.
tired looking shot,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
just a bit tired, and they can just see now. They're both finding it tough. And both want to get to this final. They know it's, you're one step away.
Well, that's the point, and this is like the inaugural All-Ireland graded
Service
open, so
over,
they will be the
15,
first
11.
champions, 2014 and first champions, so it'll be a lovely title to bring home to your club, and a proud moment for them. So yeah, this semi-final match on a relative knife edge. Certainly if Rosillo and N.Sayam can pick up the next couple of points.
Good rally here. Oh, well done.
16. 11.
Just drove at the body here, John.
Rosillo again a little bit flat-footed, a little bit of lack of movement of the feet.
Yeah,
17.
great play there by
11.
O'Brien. He just kept it controlled, kept hitting it down, looking for the maybe just slightly weaker lift, and then down the middle into that gap between the two players. 17-11, yeah. It's
One
great.
senses that they're closing in on this now.
Yeah.
And a place in the final. 4 points away still, of course.
18. 11.
18-11. And I'm just wondering if fatigue is becoming an element at the far end of the court for Rosillo and N.Sayam. They have looked a bit tired and heavy legs for the last number of points, actually.
And just O'Brien and team, they just seem to be as good. Things are coming off of them. Yeah, and just
19,
you can see, you
11.
can even see there now, just a little mishit there by Sam.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's obviously. I think you're right. He's feeling the pace.
20. Match point. 11.
So match point for Dineen and O'Brien this time now. Dermot O'Brien on serve.
Service over. 12.
Well played.
Well played by
20.
N.Sayam there, yeah.
But that's one of 9 he needs to whatever, but the lads defending 5, which is a great achievement. The 4 or 5 in the previous game, but
5,
yeah. But to get 9, not unheard of, but
Good rally.
yeah, John's really hitting this hard as he can. Good defense.
Oh, well, that's
Well
great.
played, well
Great
played.
points.
13,
Best point of
20.
the match.
And it's almost a bit for J.Dineen and N.Sayam. They've nothing to lose now, so I think even they seem to have just been
Loosened up a bit, yeah.
They have to just go for it.
It's probably a little bit too little too late as far as they're concerned, but still a wonderful point to win. Well,
14.
Another one saved.
20.
Surely they couldn't do it.
Let's see. I won't say. I'll sit the
Game.
fence. Oh, that's
there
it,
we
yeah.
go. Yeah. Disappointing end in the end, really, for N.Sayam and E.Rosillo, losing 21-14 in that third and deciding game. And really, they'll be kicking themselves, having had 5 match points in the second game. You know, it's
Absolutely. I think that will hurt for a while.
Match won by J.Dineen and Dermot O'Brien.
4 match points.
19-21,
5 match points.
23-21, 21-14.
I'd say the two lads just can't believe.
yeah.
You know what I mean? How they dug their way out of that one. So yeah.
So it's John and Dermot into the Grade G final, and we're going to have a quick word with them in a few moments. Dermot, cheers. Well done. I'm Con. How are you doing? Well done, John.
Just bunch in together a bit more there, let's. Turn on. Are you good to go? Turn on your mic.
Well, I'm with Dermot and John here after that semi-final in the Grade G men's doubles event. What a match. You looked dead and buried there in the second game.
Yeah, we got off to a slow start, but we managed to work our way back into it in the second set. It looked like it was all over. We managed to get it back from, I don't know, about 6 points or something. And yeah, we're really happy to have won it in the end.
I think it was 5 match points you saved there in the second game. And I'm just wondering if psychologically that was a huge turning point.
Yeah, I think absolutely must. There's always a lot of pressure on whoever's at 20 to try and finish it out. So we just hung in there, and badminton, you have to keep going to the last point. We hung in there, and it worked out in the end.
So you have a final to look forward to now. That's the semi-final out of the way. But a lot of games and it's a long day. It's physically quite demanding, I'd say.
It's a long day. Even preparations, eating, and keeping yourself awake for the whole day. It's very tiring. Just being here and watching everybody. It's a long day, as I say, And there's a lot of gaps in between games, so it's
just in terms of retaining focus and so on, I suppose.
It's really tiring. I've been here since 8:30 just this morning myself, so I had a lucky run in the singles as well, so I'm quite happy. But I'm delighted to be in the final now with Dermot, and we can hopefully do the Dundrum club proud.
Let you go and prep for that final in a second. One last question, though, just before I let you go. In terms of the event overall, obviously this is the inaugural graded Irish Open event. What do you think of it as an event in the whole?
It's well organised. It's good to see so many badminton players here and people hanging on all day to watch the finals and all that. I think it's excellent. It's very good.
All right. Well, listen. I wish you the very best of luck in the final. Well done with that semi-final win, Dermot. John, thanks a million. Cheers.